Hey all, welcome to Learn QA and Allah Chapel. First of all, thanks for being here. And today, this is lesson 8 on percentages. There is one sample question you could see here in a class, 25% students were there and some passing and failing percentage were given. And they may ask us to find out the number of students who appear for the test or number of students in the class. So this is the agenda of today's video. And we would like to discuss one concept called Venn diagrams as well. And Venn diagrams plays a very crucial role in many case test questions as well. So let us try to start. And friends, I already discussed 7 videos on this, and this is lesson 8, right? So let me give you a brief summary of what we done in the previous videos. In the lesson 1, we discussed all the introduction related to percentages. In lesson 2, we discussed fractional equivalence to percentages, and it's important while solving a simplification question. In third video, we discussed all basic questions related to percentages. In the fourth video, we discussed the successive percentage changes and how can you solve this by using various methods. And fifth, we discussed on geometrical shapes. If changes in size, how does it affect on areas and volume. And sixth video, we discussed on force. If two contestants contest an election, who is the winner and loser depends on that. We did a question model. And next one, we discussed consumption expenditure model. And today, this is 8th video. Okay, let's start. And before going to solve with the questions, I would like to give you some basic idea about Venn diagrams, friends. Let's see. First of all, let us discuss two-set Venn diagram. So basically, this passing and failing generally will have two-set Venn diagram. And when it comes to caselet data interpretation, you can have three-set Venn diagram as well. So today, we will try to focus on two-set Venn diagram. Let us say this is set A or group A, and this is set B or simply say group B. Name them as A and B. And if any math student is there, you can easily correlate. Somebody non-math students might go through this, right? So for them, I would like to give a brief introduction for a minute time. Friends, there are two important terms called union and intersection. Union and intersection. So union means when I combine all the data, that is called union. So here union means this complete picture, the complete two circles, that is called union. Intersection means the common portion, the overlapping area, better to say. So union will represent with U and intersection will represent with the inverse, reverse, like this. Okay. Now what I mean by this, right? What I mean by this diagram. Now, this blue shaded part is a representation for the area which is only A, which is only A. I mean, exclusively A. Let us represent black shaded. Now, this is for the only B portion, guys. This is only. Now, there is some common area, right? Let us represent green shading. This common region will call as intersection. That is both A and B. Both A and B. When I try to write the union of A and B, so the union of A union B, that is called N of A union B. The number of elements of A union B. The total circular representation, guys. I mean to say, this is the total A union B, right? So this part is equal to N of A plus N of B. Okay, now listen here. Why I'm subtracting N of A and B, right? A intersection B, right? So this is A, this is B. While taking N of A and B, this intersection comes once, and here also N of B also it comes again. So 2 times it will come, right? So for that purpose, you need to subtract for 1 time. That is N of A intersection B. Now it is very much required to understand what is the meaning of this N of A and B. So the N of A and B here represents the number of elements of A, B, and both. So this is at least A, at least A and B. What do you mean by at least A and B? At least means minimum. That is, this is only A plus only B plus both. This is the meaning of at least one of them. Now, friends, in this case, you will have some situation like 10% failed in both when 2 students take the test. For example, let's say there are 2 exams. Let's say math and science. Some students are writing, we don't know. So The two subjects are math and science. Let us say the total students who appear for the test is 100%. So 100% students take the test. If I gave a statement like, 8% failed in both, 8% failed in both. What is the interpretation of this line? Friends, if 8% failed in both subjects, the remaining 100 minus 8, 92% will pass in at least one subject. I'll tell you the meaning of this. Wait for a minute. At least one subject. So if 8% failed in both, it doesn't mean that the remaining 92% pass in both, which actually means those 92% students might pass in math or science or both. That is the meaning of this N of A and B. So this N of A and B may represent only only math or only science or both. Let us understand by taking a beautiful numerical. So let us say, friends, 40 students take a test. If somebody says out of this 40, 3 students failed in both subjects. 3 students failed in both subjects. They are taking 2 subjects, name them as math and science. So if 40 students take math and science, and a statement says 3 failed in both subjects, what do you mean by this? Out of 40, if 3 failed in both, remaining 37 will pass either math or science or both. But it doesn't include the total number of students who pass in both. That is absolutely wrong assumption. Now let us say one more statement, guys. 100% take a test. If I gave a statement, 19% failed in both, 19% failed in both, then what percent of students pass in at least one of the subject? 81%. Right? Let's take one more numerical. Let us have 100% idea about this. If I say 100% people take the test, if somebody say 23% failed in both, that means 100 minus 23, 77% pass in at least one of the subject. So that 77% may be representing only one subject passed or both subjects passed. Understood the introduction of Venn diagrams? Now it is better to go for simplifying the questions, right? If you do 7-8 questions on this, you can easily understand the pulse of the solving the question, right? Let's go for the question, guys. Okay. 90% of the students in school passed in English, and 75% passed in mathematics, and 130 students passed in both subjects. If no student failed in both subjects, then find the total number of students. So simply, friends, take a Venn diagram. So this is English passed, and this is mathematics passed, right? So English passed is 90%, and mathematics passed is 75%. And there is one statement, if no student failed in both subjects, which means what? All students passed. So we know that N of A union B equal to, use that formula. For the first question, I'm writing in detail. Next question onwards, we'll finish this in 2 steps, actually. Even if it is a complicated question, you can end in maximum 4 steps, guys. Maximum 4 steps you can wind up. So N of A union B means all 100% passed. What is N of A? 90%. I mean, first subject English. What about N of B? 75%. And there might be some students who pass in both subjects, right? So some X%. So what is X% now? X% equal to, if X come to this side and 100 come to this side, 90 minus 100 minus 10, 75 minus 10 is 65%. That means 65% of the students are passed in both subjects, right? Now somebody may have a doubt, sir, how is this possible if no student failed in both subjects? Means what? The students must have passed in at least one of the subject. All 100% students passed in at least one of the subject. So do you understand that line? Here somebody may understand, sir, you are saying 65% passed in both. Passed in both. And here, if no student failed in both subjects, he says, out of all students, there is no student who failed in both subjects, which means all students passed in at least one of the subject. They didn't fail in both, but they might fail in one of the subject, right? So that is the interpretation. So if 65% pass in both, which is numerically 130. So guys, if 65% represents 130, totally what percent of the students will appear for the test? 100% is 1. 100% is 1. So 65 twos are 130, 100 twos are, so 200 students take the test, and that is option C. Sometimes the data will represent in terms of passed, sometimes in terms of failed, sometimes in a single question you may talk 75% passed in English and 60% failed in math. So in such cases, try to convert the data either in terms of passed candidate or in terms of failed candidates. So that will be easy for us to solve the question. So the basic thumb rule is you have to convert the data either in terms of passed candidates or in terms of failed candidates. So don't stop here. We have another 7-8 fantastic questions on this. Let us continue. Now, so the moment when you see this kind of question, you must trigger in your mind to draw simple Venn diagram. So 52% of the students failed in English and 42% failed in math. If 17% failed in both subjects, then the percentage of candidates who pass in both subjects was what, right? So let us make a simple Venn diagram. So this is English. This is math, right? That is math, right? Yeah. Now, what is the data given? As I told you that sometimes the data given in terms of failed candidates, sometimes in terms of passed candidates. Now, I would like to discuss this question in two ways. You can feel comfortable in both ways, right? Let me give you complete picture of this diagram. Let me draw another diagram. What I mean to say is, you can do the question in terms of passed candidates or failed candidates. Now, I'll discuss both ways. Here, we'll talk about passed candidates methodology. I mean, we are converting the data in terms of passed candidates. Here, we will try to convert the data in terms of failed candidates, right? Okay, I think in this question, the second method is so simple. Let us try to work out that first. In English, 52% failed. He says English, not only English. There is a difference between English failed and only English failed. So English failed means some other people might be failed. If I say only English failed, those are restricted to English only. Now 42% failed in math. So math failed are 42%. Now there might be some students who failed in both subjects, right? And that is given as 17%. So the intersection in this case represents the number of students who failed in both English and math, which is 17% friends. Now simply you can finish this question. Let's see how. So guys, this circle represents, the English circle represents 52%. But out of this 52, 17% failed in math as well. So what percent the pass in only English? So 52 minus 17, 35% failed in only English. Yes or no? So out of this 52% people who failed in English, 17% failed in math as well. So what percent of the students failed in exclusively English? So that circle 52 minus 70. Similar argument here. 42% failed in math. But out of 42%, 17% failed in English as well. So what percent students failed in only math then? So 42 minus 17, 25%. Now we know that out of 100% students, 35% failed in only English, 25% failed in only math, and 17% failed in both. So totally, from total 100% students, if you subtract the number of students who pass in, who fail in at least one subject, you get the number of students who pass in both, right? So from the total 100, if you subtract the only English fail, only math fail, and both fail, you will get to know whoever are passed in both. So which is how much? So 35 plus 25, 60 plus 17, 77% failed in at least one subject. Which means 100 minus 77, 23% passed in both. 23% passed in both, and that is option B. So this is very simple. What if I convert the data in terms of failed candidates? That is also simple. It needs a little interpretation. Let us try to finish that even, guys. So 52% failed in English. Out of 100% students who take English, if 52% are failed in English, 48% are passed in English, right? 100 minus that. And if 42% failed in math, 100 minus 42, 58% passed in math. But we don't know what percent of the students passed in both subjects, say X%. The intersection is X%. And friends, if 17% failed in both, if 17% failed in both, what is the interpretation for it? 100 minus 17, 83% pass in at least one subject. So that at least is N of A union B. Now we know the basic thumb rule as we discussed in the previous slide. N of A union B equal to N of A plus N of B minus intersection N of A union B. So even this method will give X as 23% and X represents the number of students who pass in both subjects, which is 23% again. So it is all up to you guys whether to convert the data in terms of failed candidates or passed candidates. Hope it is clear. Let's go for the next question. We have another 5-6 questions, right? Don't stop here. Okay. In an examination, now it is the time to put directly on the paper. Okay, anyhow, I will discuss in detail, but you have to solve without using the diagram. That diagram must be in your mind, guys. Okay, 70% passed in English and 65% passed in math, right? So this is English passed, that is 70%, and this is math passed, which is 65%. If 27% failed in both, 73% must be passed in at least one other subject. So that 73% is what? That 73% is N of A union B. Intersection percentage we don't know. Here he says that if only 496 students passed in both subjects, but we don't know what percentage equivalent it is. So the numerically the number of students who pass in both is 496, percentage wise say X%. Now if 27% failed in both, 73% have to pass in at least one other subject. So 73% equal to N of A plus N of B minus N of A intersection. So this is the one step that you have to write in exam. So X% equal to, if 73 comes to the side, 70 minus 73 minus 3, 65 minus 3, 62%. So this is the percentage equivalent of the students who pass in both, which is 496. If 62% is a 496, then 100% is what? Friends, this is 8 times, so this must be 8 times. So 800 students appear for the test, and that is option A. So initially, this Venn diagram seems to be very tough and complicated, but trust me, once if you understand the basic of it, it's a matter of 20-30 seconds or so. 20 to 30 seconds on. Okay, let's see the next question. Now the data can be varieties of data. The same data can be put into varieties of forms. So here is one such beautiful question. In a class, 25% of the students passed in both English and Hindi. 37.5% of the students failed in both subjects, while 60% students failed in Hindi. The difference between the students who passed in English and those who passed in Hindi is 30. What is the total number of students in the class? So guys, it is your responsibility to find out whether to convert the data in terms of passed candidates or failed candidates. Now here you need to convert the data in terms of passed candidates because the numerical difference is given between the passed candidates. So let us represent a simple Venn diagram for it so we can easily understand. This is say English and this is say Hindi, right? So this is English, this is Hindi. Friends, if 25% passed in both subjects, so this is given as 25%. 37.5% of the students failed in both subjects. So guys, if 37.5% failed both, what about the number of students who pass in at least one subject? 100 minus 37.5, so 62.5 represents at least one pass, at least one subject passed. I mean here 62.5 will represent N of A union, right? Okay, let us continue. while 60% students failed in Hindi. So guys, if 60% failed in Hindi, 40% will pass in Hindi, because we are trying to convert the data in terms of passed candidates. No, so if 60% is failed in Hindi, 40% is passed in Hindi, but we don't know what percent of students passed in English, the X%. Now we know that N of A union B is 62.5%. That is equal to N of A plus N of B minus N of A intersection. So 40 minus 25 is 15. If plus 15 comes to the side, minus 15, 62.5 minus 15 is 47.5%. So that means 47.5% of the students passed in English. Excuse me. But what is the next line of the question? The difference between the students who pass in English and those who pass in Hindi is 30. So friends, English is 47.5% passed. Hindi is 40% passed. What is the percentage difference? 7.5% is right. So the percentage difference between English and Hindi passed is 7.5%, and that is numerically mentioned as 30 students. So if 7.5 is 30, total students are how many? 100%. So 7.5 times 4 is 30. So 100 times 4 is 400. So 400 students appear for the test, and that is option D. So the question seems to be very lengthy and the varieties of data is given. It is very simple once you have the grip on the concept. Okay, let us continue with the next question. Now, in an examination, 77% candidates passed in English and 34% failed in math. If 13% failed in both subjects and 784 passed in both subjects, find the total number of students. Now, if I am taking the test, how I am solving the question, let's see. So we know that N of A union B. So if 13% failed in both, 87% must pass in at least one of the subjects. I mean, N of A union B equal to N of A, 77%, the number of students who pass in English. If 34% failed, 66% must pass in math. Yes or no? We are writing N of A union B equal to N of A plus N of B minus, we don't know what percent of the students pass in both, say X%. So this is how you have to think in the exam. This is how you have to face the exam. So try to write less on the paper, think more. That will save the time. If 87 come to this side, minus 87, 77 minus 87 is minus 10. Minus 10 plus 6 is 56%. If X come to this side, plus 6, so X equal to 56%, and that is given as 784. If 56% is 784, 100% is what? Friends, this is 14 times. So this must be 14 times. So 1400 students who are taken the test, and that is option D. Now tell me how much time it takes for us? It hardly takes 30-40 seconds only, right? So try to have a good concept and as many questions as you can practice. Let's go for the next variety. In an examination, 75% passed in English and 60% passed in math. 25% failed in both and 240 passed the examination. So examination has two tests. If 240 passed the examination, which means 240 passed both, that is the intermediate, the interlinked information. So we know that if 25% failed in both, 75% must have passed in at least one of the subject. Direct step, guys. Now you should in a position to write the steps directly. If 25% failed in both, 75% are passing in at least one of the subjects. So N of A and B is 75%. That is N of A plus N of B minus N of A intersection B. This X% is the number of students who pass in both. So 75 gets cancelled. So X is 60%. So 60% students passed in both, which is numerically 240. So if 60% is 240, total 100% is what? Right? So this is 4 times. So this will be 4 times. So 400 are the students who take the test, and that is option D. Now go for the next question. Yeah, this is another variety of the students are passing and failing. Be focused. This question we will try to put the data in detail. Next question like that we can solve. In a quarterly examination, a student secured 30% marks and failed by 12 marks. In the same examination, another student secured 40% marks and got 28 marks more than the minimum pass marks to pass. The maximum marks in the examination is. In this model, in this variety of framing the question, there are two ways. They can ask the maximum marks in the exam, or they may ask the pass marks, the minimum pass marks. So let us try to understand the concept first, the thought process first, then we will discuss. Let us say the maximum marks in the exam is 100%. So we don't know what are the maximum marks. Let us say 100% are the maximum marks. But what is the first line? In that exam, one student got 30% of max. 30% of 100 is 30%. And failed by 12 marks. He was so problem. So he got 12 marks less than the pass marks. What do you mean by that? If he got 12 marks more, he would have passed the test, right? Because of getting 12 marks lesser than the pass mark, he failed. If he got 12 marks more, he would have passed the test, right? So what do you mean by that? He got 30% marks. If I can add 12 marks to his marks, he will pass. So 30% plus 12 represent the pass marks of the candidate. Understood, guys? I'm repeating this statement. Let's see. If 30% he got and he failed by 12 marks. So because of getting 12 marks less, he failed in the test. What do you mean by that? If he got 12 marks extra, he would have passed the test, right? So whatever the marks that he failed, that marks add to make him pass. So 30% plus 12 are the pass marks. What about the other candidate? The other candidate got 40% and got 28 marks more than the minimum pass marks. So other candidate got 40%, but he is a very lucky guy. He got 28 extra than the pass mark. He got more marks than the pass marks. How to get the pass marks? Whatever the extra he got, subtract that to get the pass marks. Now pass marks are same whether you are a boy or a girl or some X or some Y. So pass marks are equate. So what is the difference in percentage? 40 minus 30, 10%. What if minus 28 come to the side? Plus 28. So 12 plus 28 is 40. So that means 10% is 40. Then the maximum marks are 100%, right? So 100% is what? So this is 10 times. So this should be 10 times 400 marks at the maximum marks. Now friends, let us generalize this. I think you people might be aware of this. If both are of same variety, both passed by some margin, difference is the marks. For example, if I say both students are pass marks, both are passed by some edge. So let us say 30 minus 40 difference is 10%. If I say both are passed or both are failed, it could be both failed or both passed. In such case, both failed or both passed. In such case, what is the difference of marks? 28, 12, 16. If it is contrary, if one person is failed, other person is passed, take the sum. Otherwise, you can go with the basic analysis. This is quite simple. So guys, aptitude is one such beautiful subject. Don't try to buy hard this. Try to go for the process. Okay, I think that is the best process. Let us go for the next stuff. Next question. A boy scores 42.5% and fails by 7 marks. What are the pass marks? Let us say the maximum marks are 100%. He is writing the test for 100%. If he get 42.5% marks and he failed by 7 marks, right? So if he gets 7 marks more, he will pass the test. So here I forget to mention one more option. That is none of these. That is none of this is the another option. Now it means none of this. Whereas in the same exam, a girl who got 52.5% marks and passes by 13 marks. So she got 13 marks more than the pass marks, right? So how do you get the pass marks? If you subtract the extra marks, you'll get the pass marks. Now pass marks are same whether you are a boy or a girl, equal that. So what is the difference in percentage? 10%. If minus 13 come to the side, plus 13, so 10 plus 13, sorry, 7 plus 13 is 20. If 10% is 20, 100% are the maximum marks, which is 200. So friends, here the maximum marks are 200. And that is what I was talking about in the previous slide. If one is failed, other is passed, the difference in percentage is 10%. And I told you to add. So 13 plus 7 is 20. That's what I said. 10% is 20, 100% is 200. But the question is, find the minimum marks to pass. What are the minimum marks to pass? Either this or this. So 42.5% of 200 is how much? 85 plus 7. So totally 92 marks are the pass marks, and none of this is correct for this question. Right? So in this way, you can work out the questions based on past of the students and failing of the students. So guys, thank you so much for being here, and we would like to continue by doing a few more interesting questions on this topic. And our channel is Learn TV and Learn. You can subscribe to it, share among your community those who want to prepare for competitive exam seriously. So I hope this channel will help you right from fundamentals to advanced questions. Thank you for being here, and best wishes for all your preparation. So thank you so much once again. Keep learning, keep inspiring, guys. Thanks again.